In today's video, we'll be revealing the optimal claiming sequences for CPP, RSP withdrawals, and OAS that maximizes your lifetime retirement income and minimizes unnecessary taxes. What we have found was that many Canadian retirees will make these important decisions without any proper planning or due diligence, and these poor decisions will ultimately potentially reduce your net worth by hundreds of thousands of dollars throughout retirement. That's exactly why we're making the video today. Let's get right into it. Do you know what the optimal age is for you and your spouse to start collecting CPP, the Canada Pension Plan? A lot of Canadian retirees will make a mistake that they will try to collect the CPP as early as possible because you can start collecting CPP at the age of 60. Normal retirement age is age 65, or you could defer to age 70 and receive a deferral bonus. First of all, if you were to collect prior to the age of 65, your CPP benefit is reduced by about 7.2% per year, or 35% is the difference, is the reduction between 60 and 65. And this is a lifetime reduction. Or if you were to defer to age 70, you would receive a lifetime deferral bonus of roughly 8.4% or 42% increase between the ages 65 to age 70. And again, this is a lifetime increase. Generally, if you're in good health, then it is a mistake for most people, it is a mistake to try to collect prior to the age of 65, because statistically, Canadians, we just live longer. So if we look at the statistics, life expectancy for a female, this is based on 2025 numbers, age 65, female age 65 in Canada has life expectancy of 87. For a male, it's age 84. And for a couple, there's a 50% probability that one of the spouses will live to age 94. And there's a 25% probability that one of the spouses will live to age 98. And these are current numbers. Now, let's look at dollars and cents and what CPP amounts would actually look like. And again, this is based on maximum 2025 CPP benefit and inflation being at 2%. So the assumption is that the CPP benefit will increase by 2% every single year going forward. So if somebody was collecting the CPP at the age of 60, by the age of 90, they would have received $425,000 and change. But if they started collecting at the age of 65, they would have received $579,000. And if this person was to defer to age 70, they would have received $688,000 by the age of 90. Now you can see why it is a mistake. If you're in good health, if your life expectancy is not reduced, then obviously you should start at the age of 65 or potentially try to defer to age of 70. Now, if you're in bad health, if your life expectancy is reduced, then obviously it's a completely different story. You should be seeing a certified financial planner, or we can model these numbers for you. But again, for most people, it's a mistake to collect prior to the age of 65. Do you know what the optimal age is to start claiming OAS, Old Age Security, which is the second major Canadian retirement benefit? OAS offers limited flexibility as far as when you can start claiming, because you must be age 65 before you can start collecting. But similar to CPP, also with OAS, there is a deferral bonus. So if you were to defer your old age security to age 70, you would receive a deferral bonus. The bonus is slightly lower than CPP being 8.4. With OAS, it's only 7.2% per year. So the difference is about 36% age 65 to age 70. And why would anybody defer old age security? Well, first of all, OAS is an income-tested benefit, meaning when a retiree's income is over a certain threshold, your OAS will actually be clawed back as a recovery tax. And in 2025, that threshold is about $94,000. So if you expect that your income will be over $94,000, obviously you would defer claiming OAS past age 65. If you're still working at age 65, age 66, and so on and so forth, and you are earning substantial income, you would also consider, or you would most likely defer your old age security benefit as well. And the other scenario could be potentially if you have a substantial balance in your RSPs, you could defer your OAS, your old age security, and you could be melting down your RSP, moving RSP funds to a non-registered portfolio or to a TFSA, and having your old age security deferred in the meantime. Now that you understand CPP and OAS claiming strategies, click on the link below, and I'll create a personalized video analyzing your specific situation and showing you how to optimize your retirement plan. Do you know what is the optimal age for you and your spouse to start pulling funds out of your RSP or your RRIF? Well, out of the three, CPP, OAS, and RSP, RSPs and RRIFs offer the most flexibility as far as timing of withdrawals, and they are very, very flexible. You have this flexibility up until the age of 71 and then 72. At 71, you must convert RSP to a RRIF, and then 72, you must pull out a certain annual minimum out of your RRIF on an annual basis every year. Age 72, 5.4%, and then this percentage is increased as you get older. So that's fairly basic, but what people do not realize is that if you talk to accountants, most accountants will actually advise you to defer as long as possible, which might be the right strategy for some families. But also we find that a lot of families are much better off actually going into their RSP immediately, right after retirement, and moving funds out of the RSP, not necessarily to fund their retirement, but to move those funds out of high tax RSP or RRIF environment into a TFSA or into a non-registered portfolio. Why would you do so? Well, first of all, if you have a substantial balance in your RSP, this most likely is the right strategy to go into your RSPs immediately, defer CPP, defer OAS, and start to reduce or try to reduce your RSP balance before the age of 72 when you do not have that flexibility anymore. The other time you should consider going into your RSPs could be prior to retirement. In a low income tax year, if your income is reduced in a certain tax year, you could actually go into that RSP and again, move funds out of that RSP, out of the high tax environment into a non-registered portfolio or a TFSA. Why would people defer? Why would people not go into RSPs early 60s or right after retirement? Well, the flip side is that if your RSP has a modest balance, or you have other income, possibly private pension or possibly some rental income, then you could defer to age of 72. That might be the right strategy for you and your family. There are many variables determining what is the optimal age for you and your spouse to start collecting CPP, OAS, and pulling income out of an RSP. But generally, there are three scenarios. You are either retiring at the age of 65 or prior, or you are not. You're working past 65 to potentially to age 70. Or you have scenario number two would be you either have a substantial RSP or you do not. And scenario number three would be you are either in good or decent health or you are in poor health. Let's look at a quick case study just so we can relate to these scenarios better. And we have Jim here. He plans to retire at the age of 60, and Jim does have a substantial RSP, about $700,000 in his RSP. Well, in Jim's case, we would be recommending to use RSP funds between the age of 60 to age of 65 and defer CPP to at least age 65. Start collecting CPP and OAS age 65, and in the meantime, use his RSPs. Scenario number two, we have Jeff, who has a modest RSP. His RSP balance is about $200,000. And Jeff plans to work past age 65, potentially to age 70. While in Jeff's case, he should be deferring CPP and OAS until he retires from his full-time employment until the age of 70. And same with his RSP. He should make no withdrawals from his RSPs. Scenario number three, we have Nancy with a substantial RSP, $700,000 market value over RSP. But Nancy is unfortunately in poor health. She is age 61. So in Nancy's case, we are recommending for her to start collecting CPP immediately, apply for OAS at the age of 65, and start pulling funds out of her RSPs immediately. Now that you understand the strategic considerations for CPP, RSP, and OAS claiming sequences, you can make more informed decisions that maximize your lifetime retirement income and minimize unnecessary taxes. If you want help creating the optimal claiming sequence for your specific situation, I'll be happy to create a personalized video analyzing your circumstances and showing you the optimal way to coordinate these benefits for your dream retirement. Please click on the link below, and I will see you in the next video.